Hello, and welcome to This Week in Sports. I'm Eric DeLuccio. Alongside me is Andrew Hollister, and today we're going to be doing the mock draft 1.0. So, Andrew, are you ready to do this mock draft?
Oh, I'm ready. Ready as I'll ever be.
So, for the first pick, the Bears, who do you think the Bears are going to go?
You know, the Bears need a quarterback. Justin Fields just wasn't cutting it in Chicago. I think they'll go with Caleb Williams as their first pick.
I 100% agree with you. I think Ryan Poles, he didn't draft Justin Fields, so I think it's time to move on. I think if Justin Fields won that last game against the Packers, I think he would have kept his job, but I think it's different now.
100%. And Caleb Williams played great in college. You know, he's a big playmaker, and that's what they need in Chicago.
Yeah.
He'd be a great fit.
Yeah. So the first pick will be Caleb Williams. So Washington, pick number 2. Who do you think Washington's going to go?
Washington also needs a quarterback. Sam Howell didn't do too bad, but didn't do too well. I still think they also need an upgrade at the quarterback position. I see the Commanders going with Drake May.
I do see Drake May. I love Drake May. I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks. I think better than Williams and better with Daniels and Nixon McCarthy. So May will go number 2. So with the Patriots now.
So the Patriots, they have Mac Jones, who didn't play well last year. They got a new offensive coordinator. They got new head coaching. So I think it's going to be a change of pace for the Patriots. I think they're going to go with Jaden Daniels at the quarterback position, an upgrade from Mac Jones. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman this past season in college. I think he's going to be a great playmaker for the Patriots.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think Jaden Daniels would be the right pick here. But there was some speculation that they were going to trade back, but I don't think that's a smart idea, especially when you have Mac Jones as your quarterback. So I think Jaden Daniels would be the best option here. So the Cardinals, pick number 4.
The Cardinals, you have Kyler Murray at quarterback. You have James Conner at running back. You don't really have a great wide receiver room. So I think they go with Marvin Harrison Jr.
I 100% agree with you. One of the best wide receivers in this draft class. So I would say Marvin Harrison Jr. So pick number 5, the Chargers. Who do you think the Chargers go here?
Chargers, they have a great quarterback in Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler's leaving in free agency. They have a great wide receiver room, but I think they need some offensive line help. That could really help them in the long run. I think they go with Olumenwa
So the tackle from Penn State.
Yeah, the tackle from Penn State.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think they go with Brock Bowers here. Brock Bowers is one of the best tight ends in this draft class, and I feel like the wide receiver core for the Chargers is not too hot. So
yeah, I agree with that too. And Keenan Allen's not getting any older.
And Mike Williams, they're both
injury prone. So I think we'll go with your pick and go Brock Bowers here.
So pick number 6, the New York Giants are on the clock.
You are a Giants fan. What's your input?
Sadly and I'm a little scared. I think J.J. McCarthy will be a Giant. I wouldn't have a problem with it at 6, but if they trade up, I might be a little upset.
Yeah, I think J.J. McCarthy is a great fit for the Giants.
And he's NFL ready.
Yeah, and he led Michigan to a national championship. He looks ready. He looked great at the Combine. I think you give him the shot to play in New York, especially playing in Michigan where it's cold during the winter. I think this could benefit J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, 100%. I think if they didn't if they didn't go with the quarterback, I think they go with Rome Odunze. But I think J.J. McCarthy is the right pick. So the Titans are up.
Titans, Ryan Tannehill, not had a great year last year, mostly injured, but you have Malik Willis, Will Levis backing you up. I think they're good at the quarterback position. If you're the Titans, I think you go for a wide receiver to pair someone up with DeAndre Hopkins. So I say they go Malik Neighbors here.
You think Malik Neighbors?
Malik Neighbors.
I would say Joe Alt. I think they would go with the tackle here. You know, their offensive line it's not that good, so I think they would go Joe Alt.
I think they go with Malik Neighbors here because they picked Peter Skoronski last year, and he had a great season last year. Only let up 4 sacks last year, but think the Titans didn't make the playoffs. So that would have been in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So I think they go Malik Neighbors here.
We'll go with Malik Neighbors on this one. So now the Falcons are on the clock, you know. With all that coming from their GM, that Desmond Ritter does not seem like the guy. I think, even though he's not the guy, I think Kirk Cousins will be a Falcon.
Or
So-
Justin Fields if Chicago does
Yeah.
wind up trading him.
So I think that they go with Dallas Turner here.
I think they go with Dallas Turner or they go with Chop Robinson from Penn State. Chop Robinson, very explosive off the line. Same with Dallas Turner, but you have to look at the two teams they played, the two conferences they played in. You have Dallas Turner played at Alabama. He played really well this season. You have Chop Robinson who played in Penn State. It's kind of different, but I like Dallas Turner better. He just seems like an all-around fit for Atlanta.
So now the Bears are on the clock. Who do you think the Bears go here?
If I'm the Bears here, you're getting Caleb Williams at 1. I say you get him some protection up front. I say we go Joe Alt.
You think
Joe
Joe
Alt's, as a Notre Dame fan, growing up, I would always watch the offensive line, and Joe Alt seems like the best offensive lineman in this draft class.
I like that pick. I would personally go with Roma Duze. I feel like teaming it up with DJ Moore and Roma Duze would be a nice thing. But I think Joe Alt would be a good pick.
Now the Jets.
I think 100% the Jets have to go with a tackle here. Aaron Rodgers got hurt last year, the first snap because of his offensive line. They need to go with the offensive tackle from Penn State.
I 100% agree. They need an offensive line. They're trying to build around an offensive line, trying to build around Rodgers. Last year just wasn't happening. So I think they go with the Penn State tackle.
So now the Vikings. It's their pick. Who do you think the Vikings?
The Vikings, getting rid of Kirk Cousins, obviously, because he's becoming a free agent. You still need a running back. You got rid of Alexander Madison. You have Justin Jefferson, who's looking to be a free agent in the upcoming years. I think you go with a quarterback here.
You think?
I say you go Michael Penix or Bo Nix.
You think at pick 11? Do you think?
I think the
they go with
Vikings need a quarterback, and if you don't get one in free agency, at least you get one in free agency who's a veteran quarterback and who can bring up the rookie quarterback.
See, with that, I feel like I don't think Nix or Penix are going to go in the first round. I think they're going to go in the second. So I would say the Vikings should go with an edge. So I would say the guy from UCLA, and then trade up in the late first to get a quarterback.
Yeah, I think the edge from UCLA, he was really good this season. Very quick off the edge. He'd be a good fit pairing up with Danielle Hunter. That defense is going to be really special in Seattle with him. So, the Denver Broncos. Okay, got rid of Russell Wilson earlier in the season, or just earlier. If you're the Broncos here, you need a quarterback in free agency. I don't think you go one in the draft. I think you get offensive line help, and I think they go with.
Do you think the guy from Oregon State?
Yeah, I think the guy from Oregon State would be a great pick. Building the offensive line, that would be a great pick for them.
And
at 12.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Probably get a guy like Jacoby Brissett and let him.
Let him do what he's got.
Yeah. So the Raiders. You're a Raiders fan. I'm going to let you take this one.
So, as a Raiders fan, Aiden O'Connell played well last year. I don't know. I would say Bo Nix. I think Raiders need a quarterback, and I don't think Michael Penix has lived up to what the Raiders need. I think we take Bo Nix at 13, and then we settle with that, and we go into round 2 looking for a corner.
Now, how would you feel if they traded for Justin Fields?
I wouldn't feel too happy because I don't think Justin Fields is the guy we need in Las Vegas. I think someone like Bo Nix with a good arm, good IQ, good pocket presence, I think that's what we need. But Aiden O'Connell did well last year. I'm not going to say he did bad. He did well last year. But I still think we need a quarterback. We could go corner, help our corner room out, but I still think we go quarterback here. I still think we go Bo Nix.
So now the Saints are on the clock. With the Saints, I think they go. I think they get tackle help. I think they go with the guy from Alabama, and
Yeah, I think they go there too. You have Derek Carr, who's not getting any older. He signed that big contract. I think if you're the Saints, you build around Derek Carr. You build around the defense. You build around what you have. So I think you go with an offensive tackle here, and then you build around that. Try to go into free agency, get an offensive line help,
Yes.
and then figure out what you need from there.
I agree with that. So now it's time for the Colts.
The Colts, they just re-signed Michael Pittman
They
to a franchise
franchise tag,
tagged him. You have Anthony Richardson, a rookie quarterback. I think you go out in the draft and get a wide receiver. You
think
pair
wide
him
receiver?
up. You pair Romo Dunze up with Michael Pittman. That's going to
That'd
be
be
a
a scary-
really scary offense with
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. I think that's going to be a really scary offense.
I would go with Roma Duze too. Here, you want to?
Yeah, I got it.
So now it's the Seahawks. Who do you think the Seahawks go?
The
to?
Seahawks, if you're the Seahawks, I say you pair someone up with Devin Witherspoon. Devin Witherspoon had a breakout season. I think you pair him up with another good cornerback. I say the Seahawks take either Kool-Aid McKinstry or Cooper DeJean. Both of those.
You want to take Arnold from Alabama?
I would say go either Kool-Aid McKinstry or Cooper DeJean from Iowa. Those two are the best corners in the draft. Terrion Arnold's top 3 in the draft. Either of those two would be suitable for the Seahawks.
See, I think Kool-Aid McKinstry would probably be a good fit for the Seahawks. So
Yeah, like I said, either one of those. Both of them have breakout seasons. Both of them didn't participate in the combine, so you got to wait till pro day. So I think if you're the Seahawks here, you go corner because you're trying to build around. You already have a stable offense with Geno Smith and DK Metcalf. Your defense isn't getting any older. You just got rid of Jamal Adams. You just got rid of Bobby Wagner looks to be getting older. He's looking to retire. I think you go Kool-Aid McKinstry.
all right, now it's the Jaguars now.
The Jaguars. So you have Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. You don't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Running back, Travis Etienne, great season. Don't need running back. Wide receiver, Calvin Ridley's leaving.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk's almost in his early 30s,
Yeah.
not getting any older. I would say you go with,
I would say Brian Thompson.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say you go with a wide receiver, Brian Thomas
Yeah.
from LSU. I think he had a good season with Malik Neighbors, obviously being the wide receiver one and whatnot. But I'd say you go Brian Thomas here.
And I agree with that. So now it's the Bengals now. Who do you think the Bengals go here?
Bengals, you're getting rid of Joe Mixon. Or not, yeah, you're getting rid of Joe Mixon. He's not getting any older. Seems to be slowing down a little bit. But the one thing they really need is defense.
You think
Their defense was not good last year. They were giving up big plays, big yardage plays. I think they go Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Big AFC North. Pairing him with other corners that you have there, I think that's going to be a very substantial pick.
I 100% agree with you, Andrew. So the Rams are now, it's their pick. I think they go with the edge here. I think they go with first.
I think they go with edge, or they go a D tackle, pair him up with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald not getting any older. He's, 32?
Yeah.
I think you go with, let me see if I can find him, Byron Murphy from Texas.
You think
he
Byron
showed really well at the combine. Showed a lot of strength and power. Played really well last year. Had great sack numbers too. I think you go Byron Murphy.
I'll agree with you on this one. Got it. So now it's the Steelers now. Who do you think the Steelers are going to go here?
I think they go with an edge rusher to help with TJ Watt. I forgot his name for a minute. TJ Watt. I think you pair him up with some really good edge rusher. So I think they either go Chop Robinson from Penn State or Jared
Verse.
Verse.
I think Jared Verse would be.
I would say
the
Jared
best.
Verse.
So now with the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Okay, so you don't need Tua, just signed a big contract extension,
Yeah.
or is looking to sign one. Tyreek Hill, looking to retire there. Great running back room. I think what you go for here is defense. I think you go for a linebacker, or maybe an edge rusher, maybe a safety, maybe a corner.
Or, I think a corner, Ramsey, I think they're releasing Ramsey. I don't really know about that.
Yeah,
but,
I think you go with
I think Mitchell.
Mitchell from Toledo. I think he's a substantial pick. He showed really well at the combine. I think that's the pick you go with if you're the Dolphins.
Yeah. So now it's the Eagles.
The Eagles. Okay, so they got rid of some corners. They got rid of some safeties. I say you go with who the Raiders should have took, Cooper DeJean.
I think Cooper's Deshaun.
Cooper DeJean makes the utmost sense to the Eagles. He's really fast. He plays a lot of low leverage, high leverage. So I think mixing that up would benefit.
Yeah. And, with the Eagles with Bradbury, it didn't really work out with them with Bradbury as a corner.
Yeah.
And,
I think you move Bradbury out of Philadelphia. I think you just get rid of him and all.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Bradbury's the type of guy that should be in Philadelphia. Not saying that he's bad or anything, just saying that he gave up a lot of big plays last year, and I think there needs to be a change of pace.
All right, so now it's the Texans. Who do you think the Texans go here?
The Texans, you don't need a quarterback. C.J. Stroud, obviously. He played really well last year. Won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think you go with an offensive tackle.
I think that's
Offensive
I think
line?
Mims. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mims
I
from
think you
Georgia.
go with an offensive line because you want to build around C.J. Stroud. You want to protect him as much as you can. So I think you go with Mims from Georgia.
Yeah, I agree with you. So now it's the Cowboys now. Who do you think the Cowboys go?
The Cowboys in the last couple of years haven't been really that good at picking. They picked Mozzie Smith last year. He had a good year. I'm not going to say he had a bad year. He had a good year. I still say you're getting rid of Tyrone Smith. He's getting older. Zach Martin's getting older. Your offensive line's still one of the best in the league. I say you still go offensive line.
Yeah.
I still say you build around what you've had in the past and stick with it.
Yeah. I would say that the guy from Oregon, Powers Johnson, I think he would be the best fit. for them.
He's one of the best offensive linemen in this besides Joe Walt.
Yeah.
I think you put Tyler Smith all the way out there where Tyron Smith was playing, have Powers Johnson, and then whatever else is there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be substantial for the Cowboys.
So now it's the Packers now. Who do you think the Packers
The
go?
Packers. Okay, so you need wide receivers if you're the Packers. You really need wide receivers. You need a tight end. You had Luke Musgrave. He played really well last year. I still think you go a wide receiver here just to shake up the board a little bit. Maybe go
Coleman?
Yeah, maybe go like a good wide receiver here, or maybe Aaron Jones isn't getting any younger. I think you go for a young, experienced running back, but I still say you go wide receiver here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Coleman from Florida State would be a good pick. So now the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield's your quarterback.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind they're going to re-sign Baker Mayfield. Running back room, think you need a running back here, but also you re-sign Mike Evans.
Yeah.
You still have Chris Godwin for a couple of years. You have Cameron Brate, who's still young. I think you go a running back here just to shake up the
running
board a little bit. I think you go with Blake Corum from Michigan
You think that early?
that early.
I think Blake Corum's like a second round, third round pick, like second round.
But I don't
third
know.
round.
But also I think they need defense as well.
Yeah, I think
could
Chop
go
Robinson.
either way.
I could feel Chop Robinson.
I could also feel Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Corner, very high experienced corner. He's only a sophomore. So you have veterans in the lineup to teach him, to mentor him. I think he'll be a great corner. So I think
Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins here.
So in the Cardinals, just drafted Marvin Harrison. Who do you think they go now?
So I think they stick with offense. I think they go with tight end here. Zach Ertz just signed a deal with the Commanders for 2 years. I think you go either offensive line or tight end. You want to protect Kyler Murray as much as you can, protect the longevity of his career. I say they go out and get an offensive tackle.
Yeah, I think the guy from Washington would probably be the best choice for them.
The Bills. So I say the Bills here go an edge rusher. Von Miller's not getting any older. He's coming down on the last couple years of his contract. I say you go Chop Robinson here.
I would go Chop Robinson, but the only thing that worries me is if Stephon Diggs wants out of Buffalo.
Yes, that also worries me too, because if you're Josh Allen, who are you going to throw to? Gabe Davis is becoming a free agent. You have Shakir, and that's pretty much it. So I think you either go wide receiver or Chop Robinson.
Yeah, I think Chop Robinson would be the best choice. I think Stephon Diggs, he's going to figure out a way to. He's going to stay in Buffalo.
I think he's going to stay.
Yeah. So now the Lions. Who do you think the Lions are going to go now?
The Lions. You played really well last year. Jared Goff. You don't need a quarterback. You have Hendon Hooker to back him up. That's fun. I think you go with defense here. I think you go defensive tackle.
Yeah. Newton?
I think you go
Newton.
Johnny Newton from that's the name, right? Yeah,
Illinois.
Johnny Newton from Illinois. I think that he's a great pick. I think just helping the defensive side, Aiden Hutchinson, that defense is going to be scary. Yeah. Pairing Johnny Newton up in there, I think he's going to be it's going to be a train wreck up in there. It's going to be really good.
So with the Ravens now, who do you think the Ravens
The
go?
Ravens, they went far last year. I still say, if you're the Ravens, I say you go out and get a wide receiver.
That's what I thought.
OBJ not getting any older. OBJ almost in his, early 30s now?
Yeah, like 32.
Rashad Bateman, he's still young, not that experienced.
Only youngest guy is Zay Flowers you have. So.
You have Zay Flowers, who's your wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1. I say you go out and get a wide receiver and have Odell mentor him and develop him. I think you go out and get a wide receiver. I think
Worthy from Texas.
Yeah, Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
He just
really
ran
fast.
a 4.21, so I think you go and get him.
Yeah. So now the Niners. Who do you think the Niners?
Niners. I would say go defense here.
You think defense? I would go
Defense here.
offensive line. Trent Williams is getting pretty old.
Getting
now,
pretty
so.
old, but if you made it to the Super Bowl last year, you're the Niners. You made it to the Super Bowl last year. You played really, I wouldn't say poorly. You played pretty good in the Super Bowl. On that last play, you kind of see they were all fatigued and whatnot. I think you put in an experienced corner or safety to help bring some of the load off of.
Do you think the guy from Georgia?
I think guy from Georgia. I think he would be a great pick for the Niners. At 31, it's kind of a steal here.
Yeah. So the Chiefs are the final pick.
Final pick. If you're the Chiefs, don't even know if Chris Jones is coming back.
Before the Chiefs, do you think a team would trade up to 32?
Yes.
Get a guy like Michael Penix.
100%. I think it would either be the I can't think of the team. The Cardinals. I think the Cardinals would trade again. Kyler Murray, not that.
You think the Cardinals?
Yes, I think the Cardinals or some team that didn't play well last year, like the Patriots.
The Broncos. You can.
Well, the Broncos.
The Patriots. The Patriots.
They drafted Jaden Daniels at 3, right?
Yeah. So I think a guy like the Broncos would trade up to get a guy like Michael Penix.
I would say yeah, because if you're the Chiefs, you don't really need anything. Broncos. So yeah, I think you're right. Go with the where are the Chiefs right there. But yeah, I think if you're the Broncos, I think you trade up for the 32nd pick, get a quarterback. You just got rid of Russell Wilson.
Yeah. We're just gonna do this, so
see if it works.
Accepts, yeah.
Yeah. So with the Broncos, then you go. Michael Penix played really well. Went to the national championship, kind of had an injury, but it's all about how you play in college and then how they perceive you in the combine at your pro day or whatnot.
Yeah, I really like this draft. I think this really worked out for both of us. And
I like what we have here. I think the trade at 32 works.
Yeah.
I think
other quarterback picks. And
Yeah, I think the Raiders and the Giants taking quarterbacks. I think the Cowboys sticking with their offensive line. I think the Packers getting Keon Coleman. I think the NFC is going to be jam-packed next year. So is the AFC. I think this is a really good first round.
yeah. So that will wrap it up for This Week in Sports. I'm Eric DeLuccio. Alongside me is Andrew Hollister. Have a nice day.